Welcome to the Fray Flak Pack. It's Termex here, and welcome back to another Borderlands 3 build video. Today, we're going to be going over the Kaoson SMG from the new Mayhem 2.0 updates, and I'm going to make a build over it for Flak. Now, I've already seen a lot of Amara builds, and I can tell you right now it's not going to be as good as those Amara builds, but I have not seen a Flak build centered around this gun, so I thought I'll do it myself. And to say at the very least that it worked out pretty well, it works out beautifully. But before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. And make sure you ring that bell so you know when I post again. I'm coming out with a lot of these Mayhem 10 builds and I don't want you guys to miss them. But let's get right into the build. Alright, to start off in the Stalker skill tree, we're going to be popping 5 points in Nefarious Attack so we can get the extra gun damage per stack. Overclock so we can get the extra fire rate. 3 out of 3 into Turntail and Run for the extra gun damage and fire rate while standing still. But we also get that health regeneration and damage reduction while on the move. 1 out of 5 into self-repairing systems for the extra maximum health and a little bit of regeneration, but it's mainly to move further into the tree. 1 out of 1 into Lick the Wounds. You know, you got to get the perk if you're in the Flak Pack. It's just one of the staples. 5 out of 5 in Hidden Machine for the extra gun damage while you are not getting targeted. Basically, when you're in Fadeaway, you're going to be getting this bonus. Max out Fast in Nefarious for the extra gun damage or movement speed. 2 out of 5 in Rage and Recover for the extra health after a kill. And finally, the green capstone, the power inside. So when we activate our action skill, we get that 25% bonus damage for 15 seconds. But if we activate it at maximum health, that damage goes up to 50%. Over to the Hunter skill tree, we have 3 points into Leave No Trace so we can get our bullets back. 5 points into Planetary Stalker for the 10% gun damage per kill, and that stacks up 5 times. 3 points in the head count so we can get our action skill back quicker. This is currently a bugged perk right now with Rack Attack, so that is part of the reason we're not going to be using it with this build. 5 out of 5 into 2 Fang for the extra projectile chance. We have 2 out of 5 in Hunter's Eye, but don't worry about putting points into it. That is simply from our class mod. 3 out of 3 into Big Game for the extra Hunter skill duration and effects. 3 out of 3 into the Most Dangerous Game for the extra gun damage and critical hit damage. I just happen to have 4 out of 3 because of our class mod. 1 point into Galactic Shadow for the 15% crits. 2 out of 5 into Grim Harvest for the extra gun damage, and so we can get our capstone Megavore. So regardless of where we hit the enemy, we're going to be getting a critical hit 20% of the time. But a really cool synergy with this gun is if you get that random crit with the first bullets, the next sticky explosion will also be a guaranteed crit, increasing your amount of damage you're putting out. And for your last 3 points, we're going to be popping it into Persistence Hunter for the 12% gun damage and the 45% action skill duration, just so we can stay in Gorillas in the Mist a little bit longer. For the action skill setup, we're going to be running Fadeaway, of course with Gorillas in the Mist, and Unblinking Eye for the extra critical hit damage per hit. And for our pet, we're going to be running the Gunslinger Jabber for the extra critical hit damage and movement speed. But as for the Guardian rank, it's going to be disabled for this build. So if you just got the game with the new Steam sale, that's 50% off right now, and you just want to try out a new Flak build, or you've been playing since day 1 and you have a bunch of Guardian rank, it's going to work just as good for anyone that uses this build. But I just want to showcase it without any of the Guardian rewards like Overkill or any of that elemental stuff, just so you guys can see the pure damage of the build. And as for all of the modifiers we've been running in this build, it is Speed Demon, Healy Avenger, Pool Party, and Buddy System. And of course we are on Mayhem 10. Over to the inventory, we do have 2 Kaosons. I got these from some friends. This 300% damage one I got from Matt, of course. And this 200% one I got from my friend Rutger. He is one of my friends in Discord. He hooked me up with this gun and he said I could use it for the build. So big shout out to both of them. But into the gun itself, what does it do? Well, when you shoot this gun, you are going to be getting sticky projectiles just like a Torque shotgun, and they're going to be blowing up. They're not going to blow up on reload, they're on a timed explosion, but when they do explode, they do insane damage. Now, this works very well with fadeaway because all of these are going to be guaranteed crits, which is very awesome. But what's the best anointment for this gun? Well, since I'm throwing both of these into the PC save file, I'm going to let you guys know what to use them for. The action skill active 200% should be your mobbing weapon that you use, but your boss one should be this 300% anointed one because you're going to be melting a lot quicker and you're going to be doing a lot more damage. But for mobbing, make sure you use this one. As for the equipped gear, we do have a transformer. This shield has just become my favorite tank shield for Flak because he really needs it. Of course, we get that bullet absorb chance for the extra ammo, and we have an ASC incendiary anoint. As for the grenade, we have the It's Piss for the extra 20% damage when we throw it at an enemy, plus we get that bonus ASC shock damage. As for the relic, we do have the Pearl, of course, with fire rate and magazine size. We're going to be getting max stacks basically instantly every time we shoot an enemy. And for our class mod, it is a level 53 bounty hunter, kind of one of the older class mods, but that is fine because we're going to be getting 48% doll weapon crit damage and 33% SMG damage, plus the 5 grenades kind of helps, but that is the main reason we got this. Plus we get that 3% chance for our hunt kill skills to activate when dealing damage, and it helps out quite a bit. But enough of the talk, I'm going to show you guys how it does general mobbing. Now, I will say now that playing with this build, the weakness has to be with Grave Ward and Tyreen because they just have so much health, and it just, you can't one-clip them, but it would work. It would work to actually take them out. But that's just me personally from what I've discovered. It's just, that's just how it is, I guess. Because I think Grave Ward has quite a bit of health. I think it's almost 500 million health. I don't even know. But it's insane with the new update. But yeah, we're going to go around killing some enemies, showing you guys how it performs. We got some cartel thugs. We got to get our action skill back here. Hit some criticals. Hits. Pop into fadeaway. And just load into the enemy. There we go. Look at that. Now this gun can roll in the 2x prefix, which I have experimented with, and I just don't like it. It goes through ammo a little bit too quick, and you have to reload a little bit too often for my taste. And the 1x prefix for me just works perfectly fine. And I forgot to mention we are getting frenzy stacks from our pet dealing damage. That's just because we have points into frenzy on our class mod. And this is just a very satisfying gun to use. You just have to get them down to about half of where you would normally get them down to, and the explosions will do the rest of the work for you. Now I will admit it's not as powerful on Flak as it is Amara, and that's because Amara is really good with her chaining perks, and I think Amara is probably the best mobbing character in the game, so it's kind of hard to compete with that as a Flak player. But Flak definitely makes this weapon work without any problem. You're going to be able to kill 99% of the enemies in the game, and it even works on normal takedown. I have yet to test it on true takedown. You guys let me know how that works. I have not put it through the ringer with that quite yet. And one pro tip I can give you guys is hit your crits. If you're hitting your crits, you're going to be getting a bunch of bonuses because you're going to be getting multiple crit hits from the explosion on the gun itself, which is obviously going to overall increase your damage. Now another thing with this Mayhem modifier with these little elemental pools, if you get the shock pools with the transformer on, you're basically invincible because you're going to be getting constant shock damage at you, but it doesn't matter because obviously the transformer is immune to shock damage. It actually recharges the shield, which is awesome. But yeah, guys, that's basically the rundown for my flat Kaoson build, or Kaoson build. Someone let me know how to say in the comments down below. I'll probably butcher it 100, 200 more times. But yeah, this build's really fun, really enjoyable, and it can kill bosses, which is awesome. And I think this gun has a very bright future in builds, and it was one of the more enjoyable builds. I'm glad I got to experiment with all these new guns, and I'm not done doing them yet. But anyway, guys, hope you guys have a terrific day. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and make sure you join that Flak Pack Discord. Link will be in the description below, along with the PC save file for this build. Me and Scorch Jr. will see you guys later.